And welcome back. This is your man Warrior, and this is the Gauntlet Starfighter review. I talked about this a couple of weeks ago that I would do it. I finally 7-starred him today. I've got both of the characters leveled up to 7-star gear 11 with their abilities at level 7. I don't have any of the Omegas on any of theirs, and so the Omegas obviously would make this ship a little bit more powerful and a little bit more health and a little bit more speed, but it is at almost 46,000 power, the 4th most powerful ship in my lineup. Now we're going to go through their abilities really quick, and then we're going to showcase a couple of battles so you can see how I'm using him and where I'm using him. Now this is an Empire support character, so the best lineup will be, of course, an Empire team. He is a support. He does not do a ton of damage, but he's a cleanser. That's right, a cleanser for the dark side, which is a highly needed, highly coveted design. There's no other way of cleansing unless you use Admiral Akbar with your Empire ships, or bring in a couple of the rebels that do cleansing. Otherwise, if you want to stay true to the dark side, he is it. Now let's go ahead and go through the abilities. We'll start with his basic, because the basic of the ship is what you're going to see the most of in a battle. On their basic, the Gauntlet Assault is going to deal physical damage to a target enemy. That's it, right? Except if they have target lock, and chances are with this team they will, it's going to grant another random ally 20% turn meter. So his basic, this ship's basic, the Gauntlet Assault, is going to speed your team up. And it's a random ally. It doesn't have to be an Empire ally. It's just anybody, any of the ships that is on your side, he'll grant the 20% turn meter. The unique for the ship is called Superior Maneuverability, and I do have it maxed out. Gauntlet Starfighter has 20% speed and gains an additional 5% speed for each other active Empire ally. So you're going to be between 30 to 40 additional speed depending upon how many Empire characters you are playing. It says additionally, it grants 20% defense to all allies. That's 20%, and doubled for Empire allies. So for all those Empire characters you bring in, you're going to have plus 40% defense for them and 20 for everyone else. All right, now let's get into the nuts and bolts of the best 2 abilities. Let's go ahead into Gar Saxon's Reinvigorate. Reinvigorate is awesome. Gar Saxon brings one of the best abilities into ships. He can dispel all debuffs on all allies. Let's go down to the one I have. You can't get to 7 yet unless you have those Omega pieces, which we don't. So he'll dispel all debuffs on the allies and grant them protection up for 2 turns, doubled for Empire allies. So for all of your Empires, you'll have 36% protection up. And you'll have, of course, because of this ship, the defense. So now the tanky Empire team is a thing. It's a possibility because of all the protection up and the defense. In addition to that, they're going to be able to be cleansed from debuffs, and then they get that protection up in that cleanse. I really like this ability, Proton Missile Launcher. Let's go to the maxed out ability you can currently have. It's got a cooldown of 3. It will deal physical damage to a target enemy and inflict buff immunity. So this is a great shot to do over the Umbaran or Biggs or Sunfac, whoever they're using that is taunting. This will prevent them from taunting or gaining additional buffs. A lot of the ships now, a lot of people are using Poe or someone else that gives themselves buffs or speed up to another player, and this is going to just prevent that from occurring. So buff immunity is definitely an underrated ability, but it's awesome. There's only a couple of ships that can apply this. So buff immunity, cleansing, protection up, defense up, additional speed, and the ability to gain turn meter to give turn meter away on its basic. What a very cool ship. I don't know if you remember when they first brought it out, it was the wrong ship in the picture. They did end up going back and changing the picture of the ship. Now let's go in a battle with an Empire team so you can see what this ship's capable of and what the abilities look like. Now, of course, for the capital ship, you're going to want Tarkin as a capital ship, and then you're going to want to bring in Darth Vader if you have him, the TIE Fighter pilot if you had him, and the Gauntlet. Those are the 4 Empire ships really that are in the game. I do put in Umbaran and I do put in Biggs because I do like the team to be tanky, and so Umbaran has a dispel on his basic as long as the opponent is target locked, which happens That's a thing. So he's going to be my dispeller, and he's tanky. And Biggs is going to taunt every time target lock is applied for 1 turn, and he gains protection up every time someone's target locked. So he's going to be my fall man. Biggs is going to be the guy that falls, which is funny. The Empire is going to use and abuse that poor guy and then throw him away for the victory. In the backup, I have Scimitar, is still one of the best ships in the game. Excellent ship. Boba Fett's ship, one of the best in the game, of course. And I finish it off with the First Order TIE Fighter. So I have somebody who can do a ton of damage to target locked characters. Really, my back lineup are all basically attackers who are going to come in and do damage if I lose ships. So let's go ahead and battle it out. All right, the first thing you always want to do is target lock the opposing team, and the ship with the lowest tenacity in the game, meaning the one that's easiest to apply debuffs to, is Darth Vader's ship. Plus, Darth Vader's ship, while he's around, you cannot cleanse your team, and that is something you're going to want to do with the Gauntlet Starfighter. So we are going to target the TIE Advance. Now, this ship, my basic, only applies 70% of the time. It's a bit of a risk to run this ship because it doesn't always apply. But if it applies, this whole thing is over in less than a minute. But if it doesn't apply, we're in for a rocky ride. So it's one of those things I could switch it out with another ship that's more guaranteed the target lock, but I get to go first with this ship, which is why I use this ship and I take the risk of that potential 70% missing. And we get it. Biggs taunts. Now we can move on. I want to go ahead and put offense and defense down on Slave 1. He's a very deadly ship. And I'm going to go ahead and give turn meter to a random ally. And we'll go ahead and take out their Darth Vader. Almost. Let's go ahead and hit the TIE Fighter with Darth Vader because he never misses. And we will return the favor. Now we do want to apply more target lockdown. I'm going to go ahead and put buff immunity over the tank's head. Let's go ahead and put target lock down. Let's go ahead and do target lock. You want to spread this target lock love out. Now all 4 are target locked. We can go ahead and dispel because he's got target lock. And we're going to go ahead and cleanse everybody. Even though that's Biggs, we're going to go ahead and do that. And we're going to go ahead and put buff immunity over his head. So there's those 2 ships do buff immunity, which is nice. Now, I wish I could get to their Scimitar, but we're going to go ahead and do an AoE with 5's ship. This Umbaran missile pod is awesome. Now we can come over here and apply target lock to all 3. And finally, we lose Biggs. Again, I said he was going to fall on the sword for the team, which is exactly what happens. We will go ahead and finish this poor team off with an AoE. Oh, and I missed their ship. Of course, TIE Fighter pilot's damn near impossible to hit, it seems like. He dodges all the time. Alright, so they got a Rex in. We're going to go ahead and take their Rex out. He's going to counter. This is why everyone's going to Tarkin, because Tarkin provides all of that. Alright, here we go. And we'll finish him off. Now, I will say, with this target lock team over Mace, my Mace team definitely, I lose one ship maybe, but I never lose more than one ship. If that's this team, I lose one ship, sometimes 2 or 3. When I play with Mace, I never get to where they hit me with their tie, where all the ties come overhead and it's that big AoE. I don't ever see that. When I play as this ship, I see it all the time. So I'm not sure if I'm totally sold out on Tarkin being my capital ship or not, but it is kind of nice to get that retribution when your assistants come back in. Let's take a look at one more battle. Now we're going to go against a Gauntlet Starfighter team. This is a similar team to what we're using, except for they have brought in, instead of the Umbaran, they brought in the First Order TIE Pilot, so they have a little bit more damage. This is an excellent team that we're going against. I did not get target lock, they did, so now I have to go against their bigs, and they just get to pummel me. And that is what I was talking about. If you get target lock, you destroy. If you don't get target lock, it just falls apart fast. I think we can recover from this. Let's find out. Because of the Darth Vader, you still can't cleanse. The target locks off. And I hit the tie attack. That is what I'm talking about. That is almost the exact same team I had, and we just got smoked. And that just goes to show how good the team is that I just told you about. But it also goes to show how weak defensively having Tarkin's capital ship in is. I never see that overhead attack when I'm using Mace's ship. So for the sake of this video, I can't lose like that. We're going to go against the exact same team one more time, and this time we're going to win. Like I said, I am a fan of Tarkin's ship, but I'm a bigger fan of Mace's ship. We're going to go ahead and try this with Tarkin's ship, even though I don't like it. We get the target lock, so things are starting really good. Put some offense and defense down. Go ahead and put buff immunity, hopefully, over their tank. Some target lock. Get some target lock on him. Of course, they get 3 ability blocks, I get 1. That's just how RNG works. It's just totally will screw you 100% of the time. Now we've got 3 target locks. No, I was going to do a cleanse, but it's too late. But you can see how absolutely difficult these battles are. And you do have to beat them before that huge AoE comes in. So there we go. Came back and beat him, but you can see how these two teams tear other teams up defensively. It's an excellent ship. Empire teams are ruthless. So what are your thoughts about the Gauntlet Starfighter? Which ships are you using? And check this out, TIE Advanced is at 97 of 100. I've almost 7-starred my TIE Advanced. I'm excited. One more shipment and we are done. The TIE Reaper is not usable at this moment. At 3 stars, he's just too squishy. He dies extremely quickly, and he's not able to use his utility. Although he is a very utility character, I cannot wait to be able to farm him up to 7 stars because the TIE Reaper will be very good in an Empire team. But the Gauntlet Starfighter is awesome. What are your thoughts about the Gauntlet Starfighter? Leave them in the comments down below. As always, keep your gaming on. Warrior out.